Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for turning up. I don't know what to tell you that you don't already know. But I can reiterate a lot of stuff. And I can tell you something first. Hitler, who tried to conquer the world, starting in Europe and moving west, he was elected. Don't ever forget that. But once he got elected, he decided he can stay there. And this is our Hitler. Now want to do the same thing. She want to consolidate power. And the way she's consolidated power is to include every civil society organization, particularly the unions. I have never seen anything like this in my life, and I've been here for a while. I well recall during the last administration, our dear leader would be on the road marching with the unions. She was courting them, making friends with them. And that had two effects. One, to get the people against the last administration. And two, to make friends with her. We have a situation in Barbados now that the Prime Minister could do anything. And the unions, except Unity Workers Union of course, she could do anything. And they refuse to speak up. And I'm going to explain a few things to you, some of which you might not know. Recently, you know this, the government moved in and tried to change up the national insurance so that the government itself can control the national insurance. We were able to talk about, and they said, oh, it was a mistake. So we are asking you, don't listen to them when they say it's a mistake. They mean we got caught. You got caught, they got caught. And they decided, oh, they're going to fix it. What is happening to the fix? This act was passed in 1 day. So what you can't go back now, this is more than 2 months now, and you cannot get back to Parliament and fix it. There is no intention of fixing it. Right? You know why? Because that is their mission. They decided that the government will now be responsible for advising the Minister of Finance how to invest National Insurance Fund. No, it is mere mortally advising the Minister of Finance. But me is the Minister of Finance. So she will advise herself how to spend our money. And you know, not one union, other than Unity, of course, speak up about this. But we have 3 unions on the National Insurance Board, 3. The Barbados Employers Confederation, they are a union of employers. They have a permanent seat on the board. They didn't speak up about it. The National Union of Public Workers and the Barbados Workers Union, they had seats on the National Insurance Board from 1966. Continuously. They are not there at the government's behest. They are there to represent the interests of the workers. And so far, Tony Moore, General Secretary of BWU, and Richard Green, General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, they have not spoken out against the atrocities that this government is inflicting on the workers. But they were on the board planning them because these changes were implemented on the recommendations of the National Insurance Board, which contained 3 union leaders. But you know what happened? There are 3 union leaders and 3 BLP yard folks. That is the problem. No, not 3 and 3 is 6. 3 and 3 and 3 in this case, because there's one and the same. They have not spoken up for the workers of this country. And you, union members, are still supporting them and paying them to deceive you. You are paying them to deceive you. I am not asking or begging anybody to come and join with me. I am just telling you that you do not pay people who deceive you to represent you. It's as simple as that. That $26 that you give BW and NUPW could buy a chicken. A small one, but the chicken nonetheless. Because you know the prices of Barbados are sky high. You have, yes, thank you very much. Let me talk about that. Some time ago, I received a call from a person in the Ministry of Finance telling me, but you are a union leader, and union leaders are entitled to a duty-free car. I said, that's true. We are entitled to beg the minister for a favor. And the minister gives the favors to his friends. One, I don't want a favor from the politicians. And two, my wife got a car that I drive. I drive a blue Suzuki Swift. It gets me from here to there. I don't need a Mercedes. But these clowns want to drive up the place with Bobby pockets and want to afford Mercedes, Benz and BMWs. So they have to sell their souls to the government. And when selling their souls to the government, they're selling you out. They are selling you out. And it is not only in the public service. They are allowing the employers to do what they like in this country. And workers are suffering. Thank you, especially hotel workers. We had a hotel on the West Coast, a 5-diamond property. When they decided they cut the salary during COVID, they cut people's salaries by 48%. No Minister of Labor and no trade unionist got up and spoke against it. Tell me something. You really want a union to sell you out? You really want a union that is working for the employer? But that is what you have. And you only got, you got a union, you got at least two. The two major ones. I remember as a boy seeing Frank Walker carry out strikes against our borough. But Frank Walker was a member of the Democratic Labour Party and a member of Parliament on the Democratic Labour Party side. But when it came to speaking out for the workers, Frank Walker decided he bred butter by the workers so he can fight. Now we ain't even seeing these people coming out and supporting the workers in any way at all. You need better representation, or you don't need any representation at all if this is what you're getting. You are paying people to deceive you. We have a Minister of Labor who promised the world. And let me tell you what the things they're promising to do. We have an Employment Rights Act that was put in place by Esther Barsuku when she was Minister of Labor. It is not perfect. Nothing is. But the most progressive things about the act, the minister wants to change. Because all that act is asking employers to do is to be fair. And they want to adopt the provisions of fairness. You just can't send home somebody that left my place. But they want to say, you know, if you got less than 20, you can tell the people so. But like those 20 people ain't got children. And unions are supporting that, you know. Mind you, I'm only hearing about this by the side, on the side because they wouldn't send the draft to me. They want me to see it. They have consultations and they send it to me. They don't send it to me. The one that they send to me is the Protection of Wages Act. And I wouldn't even respond to it because the only change to that is that they want to make digital currency legal tender. Imagine you come down here, you see a lady selling some sweet potatoes and stuff, and you take out the car and tell she tap. Or you go down the fish market and you go and buy some fish and you hand the fella a card and say tap. You know, imagine that fellow with his knife in his hand and you tell me tap. That's a dangerous thing to do. But they want to get rid of all of those entrepreneurs. So telling you tap and pay digital currency. I don't want no digital currency. I want my money in my hand that I can hand to you. But the unions are supporting this. The unions are acting in the best interest of the Barbados Labour Party, not even the government. The unions are acting in the best interest of the Barbados Labour Party because they can see where their bread is buttered. The last thing Mayor Motley did here to help out union workers or union leaders. Tony Moore is a member of the Parliament for St. George North. She's a backbencher. Get about $7,000 a month. And they just created 3 more jobs of chairman of committees to give her an additional $3,000 on top of that. You already got chairman of committees in Parliament that don't do anything yet. They're not going to work for that one, but they created 3 more. This is all about feathering the nest of their friends. And poor you don't even have a nest to feather nonetheless. But that is who you're supporting. You have to consider if these people are working in your best interest, and they are not. And if they are not working in your interest, you have a choice. Join us out here and let the government see that the Barbadians are serious. Barbadians are suffering in silence. You know, this thing about pride, you're going to sacrifice some of this pride and let people know what is happening to you. I do not understand it. I live my life and dedicate my life to being a trade unionist. But we have a lot of charlatans walking in and calling themselves trade unionists too. You see, we got some support out there, but not in the march. We got a lot of support. Ladies passing and tell me what to say. But let me tell you, you have to act in your own interest. If you don't, you will suffer. Mind you, you're suffering now. So I don't understand why you're worrying about suffering. You're suffering now. And they're coming up with a lot of stupid gimmicks. Every so often, when the Prime Minister pays an official visit to Barbados, because she don't live here. And you know, right now she could claim that she don't pay taxes in Barbados because she does not live in Barbados long enough to qualify to pay taxes. And she comes in and she holds a press conference and give a lot of foolish noise and come up with a lot of gimmicks. The latest gimmick was to deflect from what people are saying, oh, we can give every school child $100. But the only body who knew about that was Mayor Motley. Nobody else knew. So the ministry could not implement it. They don't know what to do. But she likes to look good and sound good at your expense. I tell you from the beginning, Hitler, who tried to conquer the world, was also elected. She was elected. And this Hitler that we are having here, that is ruling Barbados with an iron hand, and ruling Barbados for the best interest of her friends and family. Friends and family, let me give an example. We have a situation in Barbados where there are a number of people who did not pay tax between 1968 and 2000. I hear some of them are families with the Prime Minister. And they went to Parliament and said, and lied, and said that the records are lost, so they can't find them, so they got to write off the taxes. That was not true. The records, anybody who cares to check, are in the registration department on a desk in some big books. And nobody entered any books yet. So that was a lie. That was a lie to give their family and friends a break in taxes. Owe millions of dollars in taxes. And immediately she went ahead, went off those taxes, and then start levying taxes on the poor people. You give the rich people a break and you tax the poor. She don't understand how Robin Hood used to work. She do reverse Robin Hood. She robbed the poor to give the rich. And you are taking it. And you are taking it in silence. We don't need all this silence. We need you to support your children and feed them properly. Out to this ramming nonsense. Feed your children properly. You cannot feed them properly with the taxes the way they are. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you now. But last thing I want to tell you, if you believe that the unions in Barbados are acting in your interest, join them. If they are not acting in your interest, leave them. Let the Monday support them, because she has been doing that. I remember in 1984, the Barbados Workers Union had 25,000 members. They don't have 5,000 now. So you will not be in the minority if you leave them. You will be the significant majority. And UPW in my time had 10,000. They can't find 4 now. So you are not doing anything about it. Don't stop in there and let them rob you and misrepresent you. I want to thank you for listening to me. But I want you to remember, Hitler was also elected.